Fantastic. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
It's no problem. It's just spooky, dude. It's fine.
Spooky ghosts in the Moonduck House in beautiful Boulder, Colorado. We are into game number 3, as I previously mentioned while I was echoing and exploding. SG, of course, took game number 1 in pretty fantastic fashion. Very close game overall. OG had the Arc Ward, didn't quite work out for them. And they also had the Faceless Void safe lane for No Tail. Picking more of an orthodox, I guess you could say, OG draft in game number 2, where they had No Tail farming the Nagasaur and Anna playing the Outward Devour. Not as much of a close game as OG pretty much dominated and kind of what we expected to happen since game 1. And now we'll end into the rubber match, game number 3 here, Trent. And very excited. And by the way, Monkey King is available, so
he's there.
We'll see if SG pick it up. They have to be considering that, and they will. Okay, I would have been very surprised if SG gave that away again after how Jerax played last game. But now this does open the door for an Earth Spirit or any other 4-position roaming support they want to give Jerax here in this game.
Could also open early with a Naga. I would not be too surprised. We'll probably be banned out in the second phase here, and with the Monkey King gone, if they were perhaps thinking like, okay, Monkey King's gone, maybe we don't.
5 seconds remaining.
Just a one-trick pony. The Enigma, again, another very strong opener at this point in the game because it counters the Monkey King, and it could have been a Jerax hero. However, we now have the Treant Protector, so that'll likely be falling on him. And first time that we'll be seeing OG play him, I believe.
Yeah, this is exciting. This is very exciting. Jerax picking up the Treant Protector, it now being in Captain's mode. We saw what a Treant Protector looked like for SG in that last game with King RD. They didn't get a whole lot done. I'm willing to bet that Jerax can get more done this game for OG, Trent. I think that might be a good bet to make.
Yeah, and they will also grab that Enigma too.
OG's turn to ban.
All right, well, Enigma, Rubik picked up. We talked about Rubik last game against the Enigma. This is exactly what we were just talking about a second ago. I mean, he's just a very good hero for SG in this time. And in this moment, Enigma, of course, played by S4 once more. At least it should be, especially now that they have the Treant Protector. It could be played by Fly, the Treant, I should say. But we'll wait and see what the bans are going to be. I think there will probably be a Naga ban, Trent. What do you think?
Yeah, probably. They've banned the Alk every single game in the second phase as well. We'll have to see if SG Sports continue to do so. I was just actually looking at Jerax. It looks like he hasn't played Treant Protector since September 2015. It has been a while, guys.
That has hero. Yeah. Is that his esports profile or his pub profile?
That would be his esports one, of course. I'm sure he's been pubbing it.
I would hope
getting ready for the tournament. But it was a long time ago. Hero was a little bit different back then. Did not have these roaming capabilities that he has now. That was more of a joke almost at that point when you were like really going for these like Orb of Venom Treant shenanigans.
Boots first Orb of Venom if you can get it, and just run at people with Leech Seed and bring them down.
Was still strong then, much stronger now. But we'll have to see where they go from here. These bans definitely going to be very important. So game number 1, and what were our keys to success for SG Esports? It was that super fast snowball. It was getting everything online.
From King RD was a big thing, but that's been banned out, as you can see by OG. Which, by the way, very exciting that Clockwork is starting to see more love, not just in the offlane, but obviously in the support role, as we had seen earlier today. What else was there that was a key to success for them? I mean, they pretty much did really well in every lane. I'm trying to remember. They had the Enigma for
the Puck was huge.
Puck was huge, you're right. ADR had some insane plays. I think that's what, Ember Spirit's good, but I feel like, his full playmaking potential comes out when he's on one of those tempo controlling heroes like a Puck. Other heroes, of course, are still out there. Queen of Pain, you can go for Storm Spirit if you want to do something like that. But, I mean, he has a wide hero pool, and we'll wait and see what he's going to grab. A lot of the heroes HFN has also sort of been spamming in pubs and sort of that he's known for haven't really been touched. Jug is one lifestealer as well as another that he's been playing a fair bit of. Luna, of course, I talked to some of the Brazilian commentators. They told me Luna was one of his go-tos as well. So in terms of key to success, just find those heroes for SG Sports, kind of get a better draft this time around because it didn't really work out in game number 2.
Be the Terror Blade right now, right, for OG? After they just banned Naga and Alchemist, you just be like, well, you know what worked?
Do you go Axe then if that's the case on SG Esports? And what else would be? Yeah, very flex. Absolutely. This keeps your draft open-ended. I'm going to play it carry. We got to play it support. We'll wait and see what they're going to do with it. excited to see. I personally, I love Core Venge a lot, and I wouldn't be shocked to see No-Tail or somebody play that hero for OG in that position. But
yeah, so the Venge though, I do like it as a support in this game already because like, we talked already once before about the whole idea of the swap up against the Monkey King, pulling him outside of that ultimate to cancel it. And then even just having the vision from the Wave of Terror to help yourself out here. So Roshan taking capabilities again. Very nice stuff. More than likely, I would guess.
War Chief.
OG's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
it's huge already, and now they have not only, like you mentioned, reach extending, but the Centaur's reach as well. And I felt like Centaur was something they were missing last game. You know, they already had the Legion Commander, but I felt there was a couple of ganks that could have gone better for them had they had Stampede ready or some other form of big initiation with a Stomp, something like that. So I'm a big fan of Centaur. Again, Axe has been picked a lot too. When we look at some of these offlanes, it's like Axe and Legion have been the go-tos, but Centaur's still up there, I suppose.
And it also not only enabling the Monkey King, these cores that are still left here for assumedly our mid in position 1 will likely be very well helped out here by the.
There it is.
God damn it, dude.
That's
OG Dota.
What do you do,
Ladies
man?
and gentlemen. So they could still go OD perhaps. Good hero up against the Terrorblade. The Ember Spirit is banned out here. One of those more favorite ones back in the day, but not so much now. And OD and Centaur is a great combination. Gives you a lot of movements. We talked about the TA. It's kind of okay in terms of like armor and stuff, and being enabled by Centaur Warrunner, you can really get snowballing, which again is what was successful for them in game number 1. So we'll see if they want to try and push this tempo, try and beat down OG before that Terrorblade is a major threat.
Oh, the 40R Invoker is pretty good. It's pretty notable within the South American scene. I think some of these players have notable heroes, and I think this is the one for 40R. We've seen him. I think he played very well in the qualifiers with this hero numerous times. With Rubik, very strong with Sunstrike. Monkey King with Boundless Strike. Centaur with the Stomp. And I'm just thinking of with Sunstrikes in general, let alone late game, we think is very good in dealing with maybe even this Terrorblade later on down the road. And also against the Enigma with like Tornado. It's great stuff.
Yeah, very good stuff here from Invoker. So him and Monkey King can sync up, get things going. Oh, I like that ban on the Spectre in terms of like heading later and the power of Invoker, having a hero that can match up with that. Pretty strong. In terms of OG, they have a very scary early game push. And right now the wave clear is pretty weak from SG. So someone who can clear waves would be handy. The Blade Fury is like kind of okay, but they have Swap, they have Black Hole, they have Entangle.
Right.
So I don't think I'd want to be picking Jug or Lifestealer really into the OG draft.
So then what do you pick instead? I mean, if you're not going to be safe on either of those two heroes, what do you grab?
Ten seconds remaining.
Sniper or even Wave Clear. Yeah. It's not easy.
Seconds remaining. Reserve time.
I actually like the idea of a gyrocopter here. They have plenty of time to think about it, by the way. They've got all minute 50 seconds of their reserve time ready to go. I mean, I actually really do like Gyro a lot. It's not a hero that gets picked very often. It wasn't very good for a long time, but let's look at some hero choices they have potentially. It seems iffy.
Yeah.
In terms of
everything seems iffy.
Timbersaw? Safe Lane Timber, potentially?
That's actually not terrible at all.
Well, thanks. That's high praise from you, Trent.
Yeah, you're just saying, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
In terms of what's left, man, you don't want to, again, you don't want to pick Ursa, you don't want to pick Jug, you don't want to pick Lifestealer. And those are the 3 big position 1s right now in the current patch. And they're all just like so sad looking here. Maybe they'll think about like the Morphling again, but his wave play is not that good, but at least you're looking into like that later stage of the game.
I mean, can you deal with a Terrorblade late game? That's a Morphling is the question. If you find him, Ethereal Blade him potentially, but I don't know, man. I'm still going to stick by the Timber. I don't know if that's what they're going to pick. I don't know. I guess they could, against Venge, it could be kind of tough with Wave of Terror. The armor reduction is pretty serious. They also have a lot of magic nukes. Don't know, man.
Tough.
Nope,
they
it's the
will
Void.
take the Void themselves.
Wow.
My God,
That's
is
crazy.
Pick.
Wow.
Ten seconds remaining.
Dragon Knight.
What are you gonna do? They don't have cool like Black Hole and Void. Yes, they're gonna trade off on cooldowns, but nothing else really matters here. And the Metamorphosis, I don't know. I don't think they have the way play to deal with this. OG see that as well, and they just pick Dragon Knight.
Well, we'll see if that is going to be indeed the case where OG will just take over this game yet again. I actually think SG have a much easier time in this early game than they did in game number 2. However, again, it is OG, and they're on top of the world for a reason. They're one of the best teams in Dota 2 history for a reason. Great team play. Again, we've talked a lot in this series about not only gold sharing, but kill participation, which OG, they're all right around each other in terms of how many fights they're all in together. So OG, very solid team, tough to play around, and it is a game 3. It is our first group stage game, and a lot of these games, every game really matters. It is the Swiss format, Trent, so kind of an interesting way to look at it in terms of who's moving on to 1-0, who's moving on to 0-1, and how will you be prepared for that. So, all right,
This
man.
draft from OG looks ownage. Like, I favor this so heavily. If we can get to later stages, if they can defend those tier 2s just a couple of times and maybe delay the game to a point where when OG are coming high ground, they have some levels on this Invoker and this Faceless Void, they definitely stand a chance. But when you're looking at the prestige of these two teams and the gap that's there and the lineup gap that I'm seeing here in the draft, I would be very hard pressed to see SG Esports win this game. It would be a massive undertaking for them to defeat OG in the first place, but this looks very, very tough. It just seems so much easier to execute if you're OG.
Well, we'll take a look and see if that's if they can get it done on SG Esports. They have all of Brazil essentially behind them when it comes to Dota 2 fans, even in South America as well. I'm sure even a couple of more North American fans are cheering. But OG, clearly the favorites in this series, as we expected them to be. Their showing in game number 2 was masterful, and we'll get into the game, Trent. You've already expressed some perhaps concerns for SG Esports, but with the way we'll see how these lanes are going to be set up first off, and if they can get a laning advantage here for SG in this third game.
Yeah, I mean, there is the chance, right? This Monkey King goes ham. If King IRD can get a lot done, maybe if Vlad's comes up early or something on this Void, and we could see the opposite way going. Maybe they can start getting a ball rolling for themselves, and this TB gets forced to try and catch up and farm on the bottom lane if No-Tail falls behind. There are those issues that could perhaps come up for OG. It's just, it feels so much easier to root for this draft that they have in the way you're expecting things to go. But looking forward to watch a DK game. Not something we get to see too often these days.
We've saw it a couple of times recently, but it's been a while since we've seen it consistently. Very strong hero. He's pretty good against lane action. He has the Dragon's Blood, good amount of armor, good amount of regen as well. He's got good nuke damage for himself too. King RD though is right near this Observer Ward. It's a bit dangerous, and Jax is going to come in, so he needs to be a bit careful with his positioning. There are two tangos. Oh no! King RD, my friend, you were spotted. And I believe you're probably dead here. Magic Missile will come out, and it is going to be already SG getting off to a bad start. Fly will get first blood. Jirax and Fly both combining up to pick that up. Eesh.
Yeah, very smart word from OG. They know Monkey King wants to scout out the Enigma, and this is what happened in Game 1 when OG had the Monkey King, right? Where they didn't pick something like this Legion that can just get fully zoned out and be in very deep trouble. You know, you don't jungle that fast on Legion if you bought some laning items. So Enigma, you know he's going to be jungling just like Game number 1 when it was SG jungling it versus the Monkey King. So he tries to come and find him on this Monkey King, but they were ready for that on the side of OG with the ward, and just a nice way to get themselves first blood is... It won't be the Viking Dragon Knight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. It's going to be the Lance Dragon Knight.
No. I like the Lancelot, actually.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Get it, Lancelot? So clever. Sunstrike comes up. Yeah, thanks, man. It wasn't even intentional, but I'll take it.
Wow, man, you're on point. Timber prediction as well as the Dragon Knight.
I know. So crazy for me to predict the correct hero to draft. Anyway, Monkey King's doing some Monkey King shenanigans. Once again, this courier may very well die. Yep, dead. That's just a dead courier. I thought they saw that. That's not great, but again, they already did get first blood, so not too much concern. It'll take him a bit longer for the Dragon Knight to get smited.
It is pretty comical that they did it in Game 1, and then They just do it straight up. Yeah.
Primal Spring. Oh, but he did get off the Breathe Fire, which means the damage reduction is there for 40R. He did have Alacrity, still doing okay in last inning, but Anna's actually doing a great job. 6 last hits right now to the 3 of 40R. So pretty good stuff to start things out here, at least for OG.
Yep, things are fine for S4. No one's really messing with him. Of course, it did mean his courier died, so because the Monkey King was busy doing that instead. But bottom lane, Tavo, he's back to that hard knock life. Like, yeah, it's no Monkey King, but it's still Treant. It's pretty obnoxious. All Tavo can do is just keep coming in and quelling and tangling trees. This is his solution. One step at a time. I'll slowly whittle away.
He's lost all of his regen, though, because of it. You know, just walking up, getting hit, and then using the tangles to take the trees down. So again, it looks like already it's a sort of similar situation to game number 2, where SG are not getting off to the best in terms of laning phase. But obviously it could come back. S4 is going to be dealing with HFN top solo. Cat is nearby, but he's not really doing much in terms of roaming or trying to find a kill on the Enigma. So in the first 2 games, we saw the Enigma jungle both times, Trent, and now this time he feels confident enough to be top lane. At least for a bit. He's backing him now.
Yeah, he'll just go like lane, jungle, over and over, and then whenever there's no camps and the wave's too far out, you just go back and shrine up. So S4 is so used to this at this point. And I have to say, this little prediction thing that's up on the side showing the physical damage done to heroes so far, already it was 714 that was done by the Treant Protector in the support role. Like, now Invoker takes it 765, but it just shows how much damage JerAx has already done with that first blood on the Monkey King, and then just non-stop punching onto Tavo, forcing out that shrine so early. They are rotating now in the supports, though, so Tavo will get a couple levels down here as the wave pushes in.
Yeah, they're heading back to the lane now, though. They were looking for the Bounty Rune or something along those lines, and yeah, Tavo will get some experience. What is he at right now? Level 2, the Enigma, again, probably should be higher, much like Game 2 as well. Level 3 for himself, last hit-wise 15, so yeah, makes sense. Anna's starting to get a bit of a tougher time here as the Invoker starts gaining levels with the Alacrity. Now Exhort up to level 2. A little bit low on regen for really both of them, but...
See JerAx here, he's like, yeah, this guy's zoned out down bottom, like... No Tail can just pop Metamorphosis if he gets a little bit too close or anything like that. So rather than just like fully zoning out Tavo, they're almost like kind of not worrying about him and just going for this greedier route of getting this farm onto JerAx.
Yeah.
Does he have like boots on the courier or something?
Yeah,
maybe,
he does, I think. Oh, actually,
he's a Talon.
He went Iron. I was going to say, there's a chance he goes Iron Talon here, and I thought it was boots. But he does pick up the full Iron Talon. My God. Although JerAx is going to have to go back home. He is a little bit too low in HP.
This was like, remember when the Agnes first got introduced? Somewhere in like Dota Pit season like 2 or 3 or something like that, and we had that Goblak, and he was playing this Iron Talon Treant like every game.
It was insane.
I guess we're back, guys.
Yeah. We've come full circle, as with a lot of things in Dota 2, to be fair. We'll see how it goes. Fly's going to rotate up, going all the way around, takes the Bounty Rune, the classic play, steal the enemy's Bounty Rune at 4 minutes in. He does just that. TP's coming in. KRD, he has spotted out Fly, but instead he just jumps away, not knowing who's behind him. And a good idea, too, considering S4 was coming in for a potential gank and perhaps a push now that they've used the Metamorphosis as well.
Yeah, Terrorblade, Enigma, like, what are you going to do? You have this level 3 Centaur, he's probably dead.
Not a whole lot. I think he's dead. Good body blocks from the Eidolons, too. Magic Missile is there, and another kill going the way of OG. They'll TP somebody in. It's going to be what looks to be Cat. He does have Fade Bolt, so okay at kind of the wave here, but he might get caught again if he's not careful. Fly coming back around, Magic Missile's back up in 1, but no mana for it. Just pushes him further and further back. Now Primal Spring coming in. They're going to try to find No Tail. The Stomp should be available. They will use it. They stack their stuns. Double Edge. Telekinesis. Can they get the damage? The Living Arbor. Can they bring him down? Absolutely. Now the stun onto KRD. It will be a trade, but it's much better for SG to get that kill onto No Tail. A huge pickup for them, and they keep their tier 1 tower alive, Trent.
A little bit greedy. I mean, they had the vision, you know, you have this Metamorphosis still going. You really want to push down this tower while you can to deny out more of this farming area here for the Centaur Warrunner, but heavily costing them. And that means Tavo now gets himself almost up into level 4. In fact, now he'll just crack it. And gonna have a couple more waves coming his way before Metamorphosis is back up and online and they're able to take this tower down. Yeah,
meanwhile, the Invoker had to head back home, shrined up. Midas... not on the way. He's actually going to pick up a Null Talisman first, perhaps. That's what he's got in his quick buy. He could still get the Midas if he wants, if he can get some extra for him. But him and the DK just about tied right now. And then elsewhere, net worth, of course, for the Faceless Void is up to the top. And with Nail Tail going down a little bit further behind, not too much, though.
Yeah, a lot of denies coming out here from 40R in this lane. Got about a half-level edge here onto our DK.
Pretty good. Pretty good stuff. Anna, level 5 with a regen rune, so even if they try to go for him, he's probably safe. And again, it's just a Rubik and an Invoker. Even with Sunstrike and Telekinesis combination, it probably won't be there. Tavo, Magic Missile bottom, no Stampede up. Reflection's not skilled up. Stomp will come out. They're just zoning him back. they had a third hero there, he'd be dead, but not the case. Okay, so sort of stabilizing right now. We haven't really talked too much about S4. Cat has picked up an Invis rune, and it looks like the Monkey King is coming right on over.
How much damage do they have here? This still looks like it's going to be tough.
They're going to go for a lift first, potentially. Sunstrike coming out.
Nice.
Yeah, with Sunstrike, they've got it. It looks like the stun coming in, but he's got the living armor, and they need a couple more auto attacks, and KRD's just not quite close enough. One more should do the job. He's so close. The jukes around the tower. Can he get it
They
done?
have the same move speed.
And they'll jump into the tree line, and they find the Fade Bolt. That's all they needed. They are deep, but there's no rotations. Cat and KRD will both TP back home, happy with what they've accomplished. But the push commences bottom, and that looks to be the trade. S4 for Tier 1 tower bottom lane.
JerAx, unfortunately, not able to come and help or anything like that post living armor, so... The more I look at this, the more I like this Iron Talon, too. Just like, up against the Monkey King, makes sense.
Oh.
You know, you're going to need it anyway.
JerAx, Leech Seed ready to go, but no overgrowth. So HFN's able to just jump out and salve. He also picks up a Midas, which I was wondering if he was going to go for this game, considering what you talked about, late game potential. And just getting farmed, too. We'll see.
Yeah.
Living armor coming out onto Ana. The push is commencing mid. No Tail still has this Metamorphosis going, at least for a couple more seconds. Cat comes in. Fade Bolt coming through the Dragon Tail. They'll jump it with the Primal Spring. Ana a little too far in. They get off the stun, but the Telekinesis is not there in time, so they'll have to turn their attention maybe towards No Tail, or just back up altogether underneath the Tier 1 tower.
And they cancel bringing in the Chrono, too. I don't think JerAx got the punch off. It looked like he was too far away, but perhaps he canceled that TP. Either way, it just means HFN will not be coming mid.
Yeah.
But with low mana on the Invoker, maybe that's why they canceled, just like not going to have enough damage to do anything. But that Midas, again, like, you know, it's against a DK. If you're going to win this game, it's probably going late and trying to get yourself so farmed that you're not too concerned by this Terrorblade or like this Venge and whatnot. So yeah, the early push is certainly there from OG, and we'll try and avoid that here by getting ourselves mega farmed on the side of SG and holding that high ground.
I believe Fly might be dead. Stomp. No, doesn't get off in time. Fly might actually live here. And they have the Jingu Mastery and the auto attacks, and KRD is pretty much able to do it on his own. He will take a lot of damage from these creeps and get breathe fired, and Ana will just pick up a nice clean return kill. So giving some farm back to that DK. I don't think Fly's that concerned about that death.
No, that was a nice play by Fly, getting that stun off in time, and secures the kill of the Monkey King for his course. So pretty much worth it at that point, honestly. Doesn't mean Ana leaves the mid lane, though. So they put a little bit of pressure on, but No Tail quickly covers the lane and rotates on over as he comes to the jungle. So a nice rotation all around here from OG, keeping things on point. Before, you know, just drop the meatball, head back in the jungle. As JerAx continues to just hover around this top lane. They have the sentry, though.
They drop the sentry. JerAx is going to get spotted first. Hit bash to come out. Overgrowth will come. They have the stun from out the huge Monkey King. I think he also tried TPing too. So I believe JerAx might be dead. Oh! He does take down, but they have the dust. They were ready for the backup play. That was almost insane from JerAx to just deward that quickly with the Iron Talon. Would have been insane.
Hey man, that's what 200 and that's about 300 gold. They had to spend 180, right? You're helping yourself.
True. It's not terrible for, well,
I guess it'd be 190, right? The one sentry and then the dust. So there you go.
By the way, this ward over down towards the bottom shrine will scatter the rotations, which means they'll probably have to give this up. HFN jumping in though. Dragon Tail comes out. He does have the time walk. He needs to use it. He's very low. They get the tower in the end. Stop coming through. They need to leave. I don't think they can fight this. The Chrono will come out, and HFN, good Sunstrike. They should get this kill. No, the living armor is in time, and KRD walks in only to die. And you are absolutely right. A pretty greedy play from SG overall. And really, HFN just not having the ways to initiate. Just get stunned instantly.
It sucks enough when you have to do the defensive Chrono, but trying to capitalize, I understand. They want as much as possible. They know that they need every little bit of gold that they can get right now because it is going to be an OG-favored lineup at this point in the game, but cost them, and there's a Dragon Knight top.
Yeah, they might lose all their Tier 1 towers here. His Elder Dragon form is about to go down, but they have Eidolons. The push is real, let me tell you. As you said, easy to execute draft. However, No Tail about to get caught potentially. No. Again, no Chrono for this HFN. Faceless Void. He does have the Midas up. So again, like you talked about, the late game position is sort of there. They just picked up the Midas for ADR, for 40R on the Invoker.
So it's still like, it's so tough. I mean, JerAx just in the jungle, right? He's gone for this 1-1-3 build, which makes sense if you're going to do this Iron Talon jungle play. You're not going to be there. You have everything you need to farm. Keep yourself healed up, keep your teammates healed up. Ensure your towers stay in a healthy state. And King RD is just getting 6 now, but he's not even into phase boots yet from this Monkey King, so it's hard for him to really have an impact here.
He dies so quickly, too. Glass Cannon, the Monkey King is early on in this game, and even towards the later stages. S4 has picked up the inevitable Midas, which he grabbed last game, so not that big of a shock to see it grabbed this game again.
Like, this is only 11 minutes in, guys. This is pretty scary. All your towers knocked down in terms of your tier 1s. the gold lead isn't too massive. I mean, I'm sure it'll start to expand a little bit here, and once you have like a mechanism or something here on S4, the way they can push in these towers is going to be pretty brutal. Once the Sunder's online for No-Tail as well, they're going to have to ensure that they're like fully stacking their stuns, and that's going to leave a lot of space for Ana as well as S4. You know, if he gets a Blink Dagger and his mech up, it's going to be very hard for them to deal with both the Terror Blade as well as the Black Hole.
Tavo being shadowed by Jerax, looking to get his Blink Dagger. He's getting a bit closer, 1500. Meanwhile, rotation from OG up into the high ground into the enemy jungle. No wards for the Dire to spot this rotation, but they seem to be positioning themselves in a good way anyways.
Smart play by Tavo down here. I really like this, where he's cutting the wave, and he's just fully nuking it with the spells and immediately TPing out. Like, you know they're going to be grouped up on OG, and these are the kind of plays you need to make in this scenario. Just trying to delay the push as much as possible.
Oh, they saw King RD coming in. They dropped down an Observer ward. They will find him finally. Nope, they don't see him yet. He's just in that spot. But now he'll jump away. The Wave of Terror comes out. Good Primal Spring timing. All right.
And right back up in the trees he goes. Yeah. So we have the Wukong's command. They will have to be worried about this, but it's the waves. Like, what are they going to do about these creeps?
Not a whole lot.
They can pull them back a little bit, but...
They really need to clear him with the Invoker. Glyph is already gone. Again, still no blink for Tavo, so not the easiest way to initiate.
Minus.
Jump in, Chrono on to 3. Can they find this? The Wukong's command on top. Anna's going to be the first target. Swap out. Can they bring down anybody? S4, he'll fall. Looks like the Meeple will go down. No-Tail gets stopped up. Can they bring him down? They get off the double edge. What a fight so far for SG. Anna going to go for the TP. Can they get the bash? Overgrowth comes out, but they do get it. Anna's still getting chased down. Breathe Fire. He takes down one. Now the Time Walk. They need more ADR. Can he get this? They give him the alacrity up as well. Getting chased down. Stop up. The bash is there. Tavo gets the double. 4 dead, and Jerax is going to be the only one that survives. They almost were able to spot him if they had any detection there, but unfortunately they walk right next to each other. What a turnaround fight there, Trent. My God.
Yeah, that is a potentially game-turning fight there. That's what you need. Like, you only have Chrono to work with, and the HFN just absolutely slays it there. That was a, like, reminiscent of a universe Chrono, honestly. That was fully on the peaks of the edge of the sphere there.
Like, he had very small amount of, well, he had a small window in order to hit that, and he did. Like, he came
possibly
in the clutch.
A slight error there from OG, maybe. I mean, you know that's what they have to do, but with the vision from the Monkey King, like, if you make that mistake for just a moment, they will punish you from SG. Even if it's just Time Walk that's giving that positioning, it is enough to get in there for the
I do not think they were expecting the three-man Chrono. If they get 1 or 2, you could swap out the most important player and then sort of turn the fight, and of course Jerax was still walking up. He wasn't quite in position. So yeah, perhaps a bit of a mistake from OG, but not game-ending just yet. Again, you talked about it could turn this game, but I think for both teams, you still got a long way to go. So we'll see how this actually does affect both squads. But I do want to say real quick before we go into anything further that Monkey King was the top damage in that fight, which I guess is to be expected.
Yeah, I mean, overlaying on that Chrono like that too. Just really helping him out, and he needs that gold. Try and get in that bigger item, so good that they're winning these fights. We have that Mask of Madness on the Void, so somewhat common item these days, but it can be a little bit risky with the Faceless Void because, of course, you can't Time Walk. So in combination with the Alacrity, though, he's going to do a ton of damage.
It's an 8-second duration, and then, of course, the cooldown for Time Walk is 6 seconds, so you'll definitely miss 1 or 2 if you're not careful. So something to keep in mind.
It is an absurd amount of damage, though. And typically we see, like, this the Vlads, but maybe thinking it doesn't really help my team that much in this case. Everyone else is mostly kind of like magic-based or something like that.
Jerax is right here.
But I still need the sustain.
They just don't know where anybody is. And this is a perfect time for Roshan for OG. This is exactly what they need.
Sentry.
They'll drop the sentry down. Jerax will be spotted, but he's the only one down here. And there's no way SG can get back in time to defend this. I think they finally will ping it out with the Monkey King, but they know it's too little too late, perhaps.
Yeah, that's fine, though. No Roche, so thank you, says OG. Denying that from SG is massive, I think, because they could have Roche at this point, I'd say. And just making sure that SG aren't the ones who grab that up, put it on your own team, it's more important.
Uh-oh, they found Jerax, and he gets off the Overgrowth. Sunstrike missed. I thought he was going to go down. They do get off the stun from King RD. He's able to get there in a flash and brings him down. So could have been bad there for a moment, but not only do you get the tower, they get the kill as well. But again, we talked about the Roche trade, and that's the big thing.
Yeah, I think it's almost more important just denying it, honestly, as OG right now, because you really don't want to hand over any sort of momentum. Like, you know, it's a little bit of a riskier fighting every single time here for SG. Like, you're going to be more comfortable with OG, but if they had Aegis, it would be very tough.
Jump in, double edge, no tail. Sunder is up. Stampede will come through. Tavo trying to make his way out of there. And looks like he will telekinesis.
Coming.
Yeah, he's got Chrono. He'll use it. Can they get this kill? He does have the Aegis, mind you. Here comes the Wukong's command. Great swap out. They'll take down Fly. The stun comes out of no tail as well from the Boundless Strike. Meanwhile, Tavo on the backlines does get off that stomp. He's got double edge, but not much HP left in the tank. And Malphus is done, but the Breathe Fire will secure it. Now the Sunder, the Time Walk out.
Wow.
HFN is in so much trouble. Time Dilation, it's not enough. He gets too greedy, and he goes in too hard. And OG will make him pay. Not only will they take the tier 2 tower, but they'll grab 2 kills for it.
Very well executed by Fly. Waits until the meatball is committed, so they're throwing spells onto this Terrorblade, then he goes for the swap. Chucks himself on that meatball grenade, and saves No-Tail to make sure he can get off that Sunder and guarantee the kill there onto to 40. And that was a tough kill to grab, or sorry, onto HFN. It was a very difficult one to get, overlapped with the Dragon Tail. So kind of weird these days, not being an instant stun, but gets it done with that pretty quick projectile. And another tower knocked down.
That's exactly what they needed after that rough fight top lane. It sort of evens things out. In fact, it's back in favor of OG after taking a tower, 2 kills, and Roshan as well. All right, so that slows things down a little bit for SG in terms of their momentum. But OG Metamorphosis comes back up. They might go for another tier 2 tower. In fact, I would bet money on it. We'll see.
So we have coming here anyway. So S4, he almost has the mech. I think there's parts of it on the courier. With the headdress going on, and yeah, the recipe is there too. So mechanism all finished up here for him, and we can move into those Greaves soon enough, as well as probably no pipe this game. They'll probably just go for the blink and whatnot. Don't think you're going to be piping it up.
Man, I gotta say, killing No-Tail is tough this game, especially when he starts getting more farm, like gets into Ascati and Mansion and stuff like that. They already have the Living Armor to help him out. They have to swap out if need be, Overgrowth, and then Blink and Black Hole Initiation. So bringing down No-Tail within the span of that Chronosphere, not easy to do.
Yeah, and we'll have to look towards, much like getting to the Silencer in the back lines this time, it's going to be on SG to try and find that Vengeful Spirit back there to avoid that swap. I mean, you still have to worry about Entangle as well as the Black Hole too, but if they can at least find the swap, it's definitely the easiest save they have available for No-Tail during these Chronos, and with this Aghanim's coming up on the Invoker from the current.
Double-edged Sunstrike should be there in time. Wave of Tear stolen, not enough. The Greaves are out. And then that comes in the perfect time. Now they get the swap out. Cat will fall as well. Double kill for Ana. They were all right there, ready to go. And SG get baited in. A perfect fight for OG yet again.
That is the power of the wand right there. Fly just almost dead, pops his wand. They try and finish him again. The mech comes out. It's saved. Mid lane.
Chronosphere onto S4. They want this kill. They know swap is down now. Meatball's there. Living Armor won't be enough. Sunstrike, but HFN is able to get the kill. However, Chronosphere is now down, which leaves OG saying, well, let's do this. We have time. We have meta back up. It's time to go for towers.
And S4, he'll be back relatively soon. Only about 30-second cooldown, and Metamorphosis, yeah, who cares? It's time. We still have Aegis. And Ana's here. He's got the blink. Maybe thinking about initiation here. Jerax is nearby with the Overgrowth.
There's going to be the
he's just outside the range.
Yeah, they can't quite find it, but they will get the tower regardless. Cat walking up might get caught. Overgrowth on it too.
Very smart.
Need to be careful. Tornado will come through. No-Tail avoids it by sidestepping.
That's just don't chase us, because there is a chance. You know, they probably know this monkey is somewhere around here. So if they start backing away and now the tower is gone, there's a chance they all get jumped on. Even without Chrono, it's scary against this Aghanim's Invoker when you're fighting in a relatively boxed off area. It's a little bit easier to hit your spells like that. So just a safety Overgrowth and lets them back away with ease.
So Trent, we talked about how OG, they were going to knock down towers like crazy. And potentially SG have to have pretty much a perfect high ground in order to find a turnaround fight. And while they did come back in that fight towards top lane, it sort of seems like we've hit that time where OG are like, we're going to take all of your outer towers, then we're going to push high ground with another Aegis. What do you do for your SG to sort of get ready for that?
It's pretty much all going to be on 40R. They need another huge Chrono from HFN. Like, it was already so difficult to get that first one. I mean, it was a god tier Chrono. Very impressive stuff, but he's going to have to do it again. Just solo Chronos aren't going to be enough for them to win this game. The Basher, maybe if they can get up on King RD, like, we definitely still have these wombo combo potentials. And honestly, they're holding pretty well. Like, it's 20 minutes in and they're still 1 tier 2 up against OG with such an insane push-heavy draft. They could easily have lost a tier 3 by now at this point if it wasn't for that first big Chrono from HFN.
Yeah.
Similarly, fighting up at the next Roche will be very important for them too. So we'll check that out in about 3 minutes here and try and figure out exactly when that will be respawning. For now, King RD is just shadowing up on HFN, trying to keep him safe as he builds up into that Maelstrom, and that's going to propel him deeper into these levels of farm as we get into the late game, but they are wrapping around here.
Courier, Ana. Yes, I will take that. Perhaps Stampede coming in. They get it delivered. The Manta comes out of time. They've got the Sunstrike. Is it enough? Yes. HFN will get the kill, and Ana's going to get caught as well. Gets bashed up. The Living Armor is there. No-Tail for 40 seconds. They'll drop the sentry. Bash is continuing like crazy. Oh, he's just getting perma-bashed. You can't move, buddy. Faceless Void says no. A double kill for HFN. What a counter initiation by Tavo, and Anna going for that that courier. Did not work out in the end. He just had one auto attack away from getting it, but 1 HP really.
Perfect. Very well done. I mean, they know this is coming from the side of SG Esports. That shadowing of King RD really paying off. Just staying near his faceless void, seeing him being the target they want to go for, and OG get a little bit ahead of themselves. And immediately they just smoke up. They want to find someone defending in this mid lane. They drop the ward down from King RD, but no one's going to be here. And this just might be a tier 1. It could be close. JerAx is coming in to start setting things up here.
Armor. We'll see if they can even do this. Top lane TP's coming in. They were potentially looking for HFN, but JerAx, they'll drop the sentry. Guess what? They found him. Primal Spring will come out, jump in, stomp, dust up, Sunstrike. See you later. Boom.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. I guess not really suspecting how many other heroes were there from SG.
Yeah, they drop the meatball. The cold snap is there. They get off the mech. Overgrowth stolen, but ADR, 40R in some trouble. Jump and stop. Good Deafening Blast. He will still fall, though. It's the poison. The auto attack damage from S4 that does the job. Anna coming back in, another Dragon Tail. HFN is finally TPing in, but Tavo is in a lot of trouble. Spell stolen. Dragon Tail is up, and here comes No Tail. Magic Missile. They lose 3. They do not have their Faceless Void. And they fight 4 versus 5, essentially, and give away a couple kills. And OG, they're like, let's go right back down. Tier 2 tower mid. It's time.
Speaking about getting ahead of yourselves, that might have been SG. Kind of do the exact same thing back to OG, and that is the punishment of terribly. One mistake, tower goes from full HP to 0.
Yeah,
you can't whittle away like this, right, man? Like, you have to fully commit if you want to go for a tower as SG Esports. It's just going to get healed up by JerAx.
Without the void, it was very difficult for them to try to push that tower down. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Anna looking for King RD. Can't quite spot him yet. He'll continue to jump away with the tree dance. He has been spotted. TP coming in from King RD. No, he's got it down for another 36 seconds. Gets back on a tree, and he'll be able to make it away. Meanwhile, they do hold mid. Tier 3 tower takes slight damage. So, again, not the end of the world for SG Esports, but with every fight like that, with every mistake they make, OG just gets closer and closer as they continue to tighten the noose.
Yeah, if they can just get a couple of these wins on SG Esports without getting anything back, they can't get control back on this game.
Stun out. Can they find him? Anna's probably going to get bashed up permanently again. Good Dragon Tail to come through. Spell was stolen. They're still trying to chase him down. A couple more auto attacks to do the job. Jump and stomp, and Anna will fall. Very good pick for SG Esports. Anna a little bit too far out down in that bottom lane, and nobody there in time to help him out.
I have to say, I love this Mask of Madness Manta combo. He's used it a couple times now where he just jumps in, and he gets his mask going, and he pops those mantas. Because, of course, your spells are silenced, but you can still use things like Manta. It's not going to dispel the silence, but just adding them into this in terms of damage to help yourself out. Very, very nice stuff here.
Yeah, they're crushing it. Living armor, and now they're going to fully commit to this tower bottom.
And this is so much better now. Like, they actually have Chrono. You know, they're in a pretty good spot here. They just have to make sure they don't overcommit. Everyone's in pretty good spots. Tavo's scouting things out here. He's got the Stampede if he spots some heroes.
If they had a gem or anything. Like, Tavo runs right into JerAx. Little do they know they don't have any detection, or rather.
And they're going to get a tower with no trade.
But here comes the illusions back mid. Forcing some TPs out. Meanwhile,
JerAx going to try and cancel
Stomp, Tavo. Trying to make it away. He does have Stampede. He has Blink. Swap out. Blinks immediately. Now he Stampedes away. Perfect play from Tavo there. However, they still might find 40R. He has Boots of Travel. He also has Tornado, and it looks like they will not chase any further. They don't want to fight at the shrine, so good patience from OG not to chase up to that high ground.
Yeah,
here we go with Smoke Up. This could be huge. They do have this ward placed down, so they've got some good vision over towards this bottom jungle, and they're going to come in together. No Radiant Vision that I can see. We'll see if they're going to just back up.
The smoke, and
yeah, Sentry comes out. He does, and they'll just make it back. So, very good stuff. JerAx being in the right place, right time, much like King RD this game. Damn, dude, this is. You would suspect OG we're going to have a bit of a better lead, and it's even right now. Like, it is straight up even. This is
and there's still a lot of towers to grab here if you're playing on SG Esports. So a little bit of money still just hanging out on the map right now. If they can just hold this Chrono and get themselves towards the Roche Pit, maybe they can get an Aegis onto one of their heroes here, especially the Invoker. So make him a little bit safer. Of course, doesn't have the mobility quite yet. He's got the money for it. Possibly just trying to decide between, like, do I need buyback? Do I need this Lincoln Sphere first? Try and protect myself against that Dragon Tail. The Sunder as well. Maybe I can place it on my Void while he's sieging these towers and I'm sitting in the back line. Those are the kind of questions he needs to try and figure out as to how they're going to get this Aegis and secure themselves some further objectives.
It's going to be difficult. They'll need some good chronos because now there's a BKB not only on the Dragon Knight but also onto No Tail. He just got it. He's getting it flown out right now as we speak.
You know, that's tough. 2 10-second BKBs in the next engagement. So probably a smoke up coming soon with them. There's one to fly. He just pulled it out of the backpack. Dire vision, nothing in the area. But they had a ward here. Maybe they've been spotting some rotations in here. They might know there's a couple heroes, and that might be enough to tip them off. But
this seems like a little bit of a bait.
There is a smoke though.
Yeah, SG. Are they just gonna go straight into Roche? There's no way, right?
Oh man, S4 is actually so close to popping these.
He knows this.
They're sneaking past.
There's no way they get this, right?
Oh, he saw the monkey.
Oh my god.
He spotted him. He saw him jump up.
They're gonna take this so quickly. They're gonna be able to grab Roche and the Aegis. HFN gets it. Perfect timing. Now they're going to find Ana. Jump and stop is there. Telekinesis again. He does have that BKB. A lot of damage to the Sunstrike to come out. Will not hit. They have the living armor. There's the Boundless Strike to come through as well. Tornado. They have the Stampede up. He'll pop the BKB. The Overgrowth. Here comes Wukong's command. Meanwhile, 40 are in a lot of trouble, and it looks like he will get dropped, and so will the Aegis. They get too aggressive. They weren't expecting the BKBs, and now they're going to find HFN too. They have Black Hole, and he will die a second time. OG, the team play is there, and it's beautifully done.
Waiting so close next to each other and kind of giving away like with that movement there. Not exactly his fault, of course, from King RD, but appropriate response from OG. Knocked them down. At least they've denied out that Aegis from SG. You can imagine how much trouble they'd be in if that was available for them, but Tavo possibly in trouble here now. Is this a buyback?
No Stampede, Blink in 1, and I believe this is a Dead Center Roll Runner. He is down for 49 seconds, as you mentioned.
Still have
Thunder. Be a rough defense. All of a sudden,
still have Black Hole.
This is what they can do with just one team fight. They're already taking your tier 3 tower. OG in the perfect position right now. 30 seconds without their big carry, the Faceless Void. And Trent, looks like this is going to be a full set of racks, if not more.
Yeah, there's just nothing they can do. The Chrono's so important to their team fight right now, just not finding the moment for it in that last one. Even with the monkey on the high ground, even with that overarching vision, they're just the movement from OG. Of course, playing with the area denial so much in the previous game, they're playing very well around it in terms of like Chronosphere as well as all of Invoker's abilities and spells. It can be difficult to dance around these team fights, but they're getting there. All this mobility that they have between the tree, just lurching around these trees, and using that invis to S4's blink. The Shrine now eliminated, so the control over their own jungle is now completely lost for SG.
Yeah. And they were, stabilizing for a moment there, especially with Roche taken. And look how close this net worth was. It was even. All they needed to do was back and regroup themselves instead of going for a play like that. But instead, they get too aggressive, and it pays off for OG in the end. I don't know. Do you just back up there after you get Roshan? I don't know. That seems like we can like second guess it now. After
no, I think you definitely go. Like, I understand why they did it. You have Aegis. You feel stronger. You think you can fight, but it's all in those Chronos, and he didn't find the moment for it. So it's tough. A lot of the times where they're finding these big plays, it's been when they know OG are set up somewhere. So it can be very difficult to get aggressive with something like this Chronosphere, and same thing with Invoker spells. Because, again, he doesn't have the mobility. He doesn't have a Blink Dagger. He felt pressured to get this Linkens instead, so he's just sitting on the Ultimate Orb.
Yeah,
so how do you combo up if you can't make those moves?
They found this Invoker in a couple of fights. Surprisingly, only has 2 deaths. It feels like he's died more than that, considering how this game is gone. But still not over yet for SG Esports. They put themselves in a bit of a rough position, but again, they have the Chronosphere, they have Monkey King with Wukong's command, they have an Invoker. And what do you think? They just gonna wait for next Roshan, Trent, for OG before they start doing anything crazy again?
Yeah, probably the next round of items too, like S4's BKB, maybe the biggest one. Doesn't have too much to worry about there.
Well then,
Butterfly for No Tail, AC as well for Ana. That'll make the next push even easier. You can see the vision already up there. They had another ward over here, but it was just dying out. So putting some priority up here. Probably going to be top lane that you push next. Generally the easiest one. You can just abuse their jungle, farm up in this area the whole time. Keep the wave pushed in mid, as obviously that pressure is going to be non-stop coming in, and slowly burn away in this top lane here. So trying to answer here from HFN. He's moving into his own jungle, perhaps hesitantly, knowing that there's the possibility that OG's around as these Eidolons come creeping out.
Let's see if they decide to go for the invasion here from OG. They have a couple of heroes already up here. Good vision, though, towards this Roche pit. They dropped that ward right when that was happening. But yeah, they're pretty much confined to a very small portion of the map for SG Esports. And here we go. HFN is walking up, and they might make a go here with a blink.
S4's not here,
though. Go right for it. Dragon Tail's going to come out. They should have Magic Missile. He doesn't have time walk, and he gets blown away. Boundless Strike too late, and that's the pick they needed, and OG are probably just going to go right straight for high ground. He does have buyback.
I was a little worried. I thought King would be able to break that up, but Fly, good positioning. Make sure he couldn't be caught by any sort of a Monkey King play there, and not able to get that time walk on time. There's a little bit of a wind-up, so that brief pause before the missile hit, it's not enough for him.
Ugh, the EMP. Rough. Say goodbye to your Manifold No Tail. So at least got to get a Guardian Greaves to help him out in a couple of Ice Wall comes out. Lincoln Spirit's broken. They're looking for the Dragon Tail. They won't find it. Tavo coming in, counter initiation. There's the buyback coming in through the telekinesis is up. And Anam, he's got to pop the BKB. Wukong's command. Good swap out. Overgrowth as well on top of the Chronosphere. Fly may still fall, but he might be the only one. Black Hole comes out. It is going to be on that faces forward. It's a dieback. And now stolen. Doesn't matter. Dead instantly. All 4 down. GG is called an OG. A rough first game, but man, games number 2 and 3, Trent. Whew.
The black hole that mattered, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've been waiting for it all game, and there it is. So, gets them on the dieback and impressive stuff. SG Esports honestly played very well. I am sure people should, will be and should be impressed by the performance here in this series.